Voltron Network.
And we are recording. What's good, guys? Welcome to Original versus Remake. Or should be doing that the other way. I'm Eddie Antonio.
And I'm Mo.
This is a spin-off series for my Talking at the Movies podcast. And this week we are talking Femme Nikita versus a name which I never remember it ever being called, Point of No Return, which is the American remake.
Well, let's address that for a moment, because this is some grade A bullshit that's happened here. I always remember, and I remember my friend at school loaned me the legitimate VHS copy, so it came with a cover and everything.
Yeah.
And it was, distinctly remember it being called Assassin or Assassins.
I have seen that cover. Yeah, I have seen that alternative cover. But
it's the same cover. It's the same picture. It's just a different
writing,
name.
Yeah, the writing, Assassins.
I've never known it to be called Point of No Return.
Neither have I.
No.
Neither
and you know
have I.
what? That mustn't have happened at that point. That must have happened at some point later on. And there's another film quite recently that I stumbled upon, which is also grade A bullshit. Do you remember National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
If you look it up now on IMDb, it is now called National Lampoon's Winter Holiday.
Bollocks! Oh, that's the political correct. Can't say Christmas anymore. I have to say holiday, like saying happy holiday. No, that's terrible.
Grade A bullshit.
That is criminal. Come on.
I have never known a person to be offended by the word Christmas, right?
No.
I don't know where shit like this comes from, but it ain't certainly from people who get offended by Christmas.
That's nuts. That is fucking stupid. But yeah, this is gonna be a short conversation because it's identical fucking films. I have never seen a remake that is as shot for shot identical to the original as this film.
It literally was like I watched one at lunchtime, one in the evening yesterday, and it was like I was watching the same movie, almost the same movie twice. There are a few differences here and there.
Few deviations.
But all in all, it's the same film.
You can tell that whoever the main driving production force behind this loved the original so much so that they just didn't want to change anything. It's weird the impact that original film had because it didn't even do that much money like worldwide. I think, well, let's break into it. Femme Nikita, 1990. Don't know what the budget was. Couldn't have been that much. It was all in francs or so. But it only made $5 million.
Really?
Yeah.
So but I guess for a French movie, that's probably quite a lot of money in 1990, right? Because you imagine the target audience is France.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like at that point, movies in other languages in the US, in the rest of Europe, rest of the world probably weren't doing big business.
Yeah, I suppose. But the impact, I guess this is just the box office for when it was shown as a film. It must have grown and had a life of its own on VHS because this did become a cultural hit that was everywhere.
It is a cult. It's a cultural phenomenon now. It's become like like how films never did really well at the cinema, but then become like a cult classic is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's the word.
On home
classic.
video. Yeah.
Because the fact that you get a remake only 3 years later and 2 TV shows, which lasted
shows.
Which lasted.
So I was literally just looking up that first show before this, and it ran for like 5 seasons.
Yeah. And that was legit very accurate to the story of this one. The second show with Maggie Q, it deviates. It's kind of more of a semi-sequel in a way than the first one.
Did you ever watch that original TV show? I have like very, very vague memories of seeing it. Like I think on like ITV late at night. It was
Channel 5. Channel 5 played it constantly. Just reruns. Yeah, it just never ended. I don't think I ever really liked it, but it was always on, so I just kind of watched it.
It's got a 7.5 rating on IMDb.
It's not that good.
No, is it American?
I believe it's all in English, but I don't think it was a proper. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was really an American production. Let me look that up. Yeah. At least I'm talking.
So this was, I guess, Luc Besson's breakout hit, right? this is like essentially what put him on the world stage or set him on to like bigger things.
Mm.
And I remember at sort of like the turn of the century, my old flatmate, his girlfriend was French, and one day she comes over and she goes, "I've got this VHS tape that we've just watched. You've got to watch it." So the three of us sit there, and I suddenly realize I'm watching a subtitle film in French, and my flatmate's going, "No, watch this. It's really good. It's really good." And that turned out to be Taxi, which literally I think launched Luc Besson internationally.
Yeah, Taxi. It's a Canadian show, the TV.
Ah, right. Okay,
Canadian.
so pretty much American.
Yeah. You're gonna offend her. I'm sorry, Canadians. It's him.
Well, no, that's where most American shows get made, right? In Vancouver.
No, but this is not just shot.
Oh, this was an actual Canadian.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
They made it. They broadcast it, and then America.
Oh, right. All right. I might have to just check it out now.
I thought you were sick. You've just seen the same film twice, and this basically follows the same thing, but just spread out.
Well, I've got the TV show that the CW did from a few years ago.
From what I remember of that one,
yeah,
Maggie Q plays the Nikita character, but she's already out. She's already left. I can't remember whether she's presumed dead or whatever. I guess it's picked up kind of where the film is. But she's kind of striking back at that organization that she was working for. She has someone infiltrated inside, which is the other chick, the other actress who I've forgotten the name. And they're working together to bring the whole organization down. So that's kind of what the TV.
So that's almost like Alias as well, right? Because you had Sydney Bristow, who was in an organization, didn't realize she was working for the bad guys, and then essentially tries to bring them down.
Yeah, pretty much. So get into it. How did you feel about La Femme?
Right, you know what? I don't know whether it's just me or whether I was in a rush to watch this. It does not seem to have aged well.
It feels very
slow.
Oh, it's very slow.
It's very slow.
I wasn't sure I was enjoying this.
Yeah. If you compare it to, like, say, Luc Besson's later remakes of Nikita, like was it Anna? And then he done Lucy.
Yeah, did that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very different. Though. You can't even. That's sci-fi.
No. But those are essentially like almost remakes, right? You've literally got like it's your femme fatale taking on like the bad guys.
Yeah, I guess, and more so with Anna.
Yeah.
But I think I wasn't sure I was enjoying it. But watching Point of No Return, I appreciated some of the subtleties in Nikita a lot more because Point of No Return. For a lot of it, tried too hard, I felt, to be this bombastic, even though it needed some of the more action beats that had.
Yep.
Especially the finale. That's where they deviate a lot more. Where they have a proper...
Oh, that was very...
finale.
The whole plot line at that end was very different. Yeah. And I think it's the only other film that I'd ever seen Miriam Darbo in, who's like a former like Bond girl.
Oh, yeah. That's where she's from.
Living Daylights.
Yeah. So, what did you like from the French version?
So, there's things in it that I didn't like, and then actually after watching Point of Return, I think I liked because...
Weird, isn't it? It's weird. That's exactly how I felt.
Because Nikita in the original came off like a complete psycho. And I guess that's what she was, right? Because essentially she was this drug addict who was fueled by nothing but her drive to get her next fix.
Well, and damage. She had some sort of childhood trauma that just led her down this path.
Yeah. And no matter what shitty situation she found herself in, she was always her worst own enemy. But even when she was out and in the real world, right, there were still elements of craziness in her. Like when she goes back to the hotel room, she's just jumping up and down like a crazy woman, right? And you're going, hey, I've dated women like this, so but like, she really did come across as a completely broken psychopathic person, which I think was kind of missing a little bit in Point of No Return.
Yeah, Fonda was just annoying, just like a brat.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. She never took the pain that the original Nikita had and brought it out on screen. It was almost like she was acting it.
Yeah, she didn't seem broken. She just seemed to have a bad attitude. I guess that's the difference there. Gotta say this, even in both films, the worst recruit ever. Why would you even bother with this
it
She was
didn't make
never a good.
any sense whatsoever, did it? Really?
The
I
worst.
guess. I guess you've got nothing to lose, right? Essentially, both of these people, as far as the rest of the world are concerned, are dead. So if it doesn't work out, you just kill the person, bury them
That's
anyway.
true, but she's such a loose cannon that why would you
Yeah.
even? She can expose your entire organization. Like you just don't know.
You could not go to like the head of an organization and go, there's this junkie who's just killed a cop, been responsible for the death of like 3 others. She's just shouted out you motherfuckers constantly at her trial once being sentenced, never showed any remorse whatsoever.
True, true. That's
She'll make a,
interesting.
yeah, she, let's recruit her.
Nuts. So insane.
It's
Yeah, I found the relationship between Nikita and what's his name? Oh, I can't even pronounce his name.
what the handler.
Chacheo. Yeah, Bob. This is a Bob. I found the French relationship more interesting. I like the
Yeah.
subtleties of how they kind of you can kind of see him slowly get into her. Like I felt with Gabriel Burns, he was too into her from the get-go.
So did that not come across as like the most misuse or rather abuse of power, right? Because essentially she's trapped.
Mm.
She can't go to the outside world. He's the only person that she sees, right? Or from apart from the other people that she's training with. So he's almost like that teacher, that father figure type thing.
I felt more so with Gabriel
Yeah,
Burns
yeah,
because it seemed like he was just into her from the get-go. The other guy, it
yeah,
does seem like he was professional. This is just I'm just training this recruit.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
wasn't up until she's coming to the point of leaving that it kind of really seemed like he was not even leaving, just before he kind of cracks through with her training. That,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm into her. I like her. Oh, damn. And he did seem like he was fighting it. Unlike Gabriel Burns, who was just all in.
Just like, well, I mean, Bridget Fonda, did you see her? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you would not fight that. One thing I do want to say, did you see in the remake, and I was going to text you this because I was fascinated by it and I literally could not get it out of my mind. But the bed that Bridget Fonda's character had in the training facility seemed to be magic. It's like it had no support. There were no legs at the front, yet somehow it was just holding like a bed would just by on its back legs.
Oh, was it just like
It was it
coming
was
out the wall?
amazing.
I didn't notice that.
I don't. I think it had some struts that went straight into the ceiling, but
No.
literally, like that was all at the back end, like the front end, just no support whatsoever, just like magic.
Yeah, I never noticed that. Let's check it out. Yeah, but to talk about that relationship, I actually found that the relationship with the JP, what's his name, the boyfriend in Point of No Return,
Right.
was more believable. There seemed to be more of a chemistry between those two.
It did. It did. The original French one just seemed really forced, but did you
Yeah.
notice what they changed about the character for the American one, right? In the American one, she can't be dating no shop worker.
Exactly. He's a landlord. He is semi-successful there. The fact that he's not even a real landlord. I think he says that he's another tenant who just collects the money.
That's right. Yeah, and he's
households.
basically he's learning to do photography.
Yeah. So a little more attractive there. And yeah, they seem to have a bit more chemistry, there's a bit more of a spark between those two. The other guy seems a little still-eared. But I guess in a way you could say more realistic in a way, because relationships will fuck up real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've got to ask you really quickly now, because have you ever tried canned ravioli?
I believe I have.
Is it not like one of the most disgusting
nasty.
things?
It is not nice. I kept thinking that with both films, like, there's no way that meal was nice. There's no way he's enjoying that.
It's like nobody on that set has ever tried that.
It's horrible. It's like, unless the French one no way. That's not even that. It's just.
One quick thing that I rewatched just prior to this was the action sequence in the restaurant for Point of No Return, because actually, when I got to the end of the film last night, I actually must have completely blanked out because I had no recollection of like the sequence. I rewatched it just now.
Wow.
And apart from the fact that Bridget Fonda looks just damn sexy in that black number, and she obviously has a hairdo that you can only ever use once, right? Because the minute you sleep on that, it's gone.
Yeah.
She doesn't portray the real lifelike situations as Nikita did in the original. Because in the original, she's actually crying at one point. She actually realizes that her situation is so fucked up. Whereas in the American remake, you get none of that. It's almost like she's a cold-blooded killer, trained. This is like a 100th mission. It's gone wrong so many times. Let's deal with it.
I guess if you blacked hair, you may not have noticed this, but in the French one, when she gets there, she says that it's my birthday, I'm turning 20, and then it skips to the point where he takes her to the restaurant.
Yep.
And he says that it's celebrating her 22nd or 23rd birthday, one of the two.
Yeah.
So it's
23rd.
So it's like this 3-year training sequence that she's nearly 4 years. Like she's learned with the second one, Point of No Return.
Yeah.
I swear I could have blanked out, but I swear they say 6 months.
I don't remember that. I'll be honest.
Because I think she said to that other woman who trains her, the former Bond chick, that not another restaurant training thing. That's been 6 months since that other one, and it can't be that quick. No way.
Well, no, hold on. She says it's 6 months since the last mission she's been on, right?
No, last restaurant training. Yeah. This is her first mission.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know. But I guess it makes it more believable with the French one that it's that long. But even then, she still kind of breaks down. But yeah, you're right. That's the subtleties that I meant, though. That the Nikita, the original, has that the remake doesn't. It's those little moments where you can see she's really battling with this, whereas Bridget was just like Terminator.
Yeah, very, very stilted. I'll be honest. She never really captured the sort of like the nuances that were the original. The one thing that really stood out from the original movie, though, is the music. Do you recall like that? It was synth, like late 80s synth pop style music.
I remember Point of No Return's music more, mainly because all it ever was it's just this weird mood music underneath, and it was so fucking annoying every moment. Fucking stop it! Put proper music on this.
If you go back and if you just flick through like the actual Nikita, you'll probably realize the same thing. It seemed to be like almost the same like French synth pop, just on repeat.
Yeah, I didn't actually. That's something I did like about Point of No Return. I actually got into the whole thing of they added that she was into Nina Simone, and when
that bit was good actually. A
lot of that stuff came in really nice, so I did like that.
Yeah, I do really have a hankering to go and listen to some Nina Simone now, actually.
Oh, it worked. It worked. Actually, I'm having the same problem because I've been watching a lot of Final Fantasy 7 remake, and I just want that soundtrack. I just want it. 7 discs.
Oh, my Lord.
$77.77 or pounds or whatever it is for that soundtrack.
Yep.
Can't find it anywhere.
Is that import from Japan?
Probably. I'm not going to import it, but I have to find it somewhere, but I can't find it anywhere. It's not even on any streaming sites. I'm going to have to get you to look for it for me.
Oh, no, yeah. You never get those things on streaming sites. I've imported the Mario Odyssey one, which is 4 discs. I've the Zelda one, which is 5 discs. I've got some other Nintendo. Yeah, you have to get them from Japan. They never appear on streaming sites.
I have put the previous Final Fantasy stuff up.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a big waiting gap between when it comes out. But yeah, you're gonna have to look for that for me. So I need that. I'm in love with that soundtrack. It's amazing. It's amazing. But so what else?
So Gabriel Brain, whatever his name is, the really weird Burns. So I saw his name in the credits. I was like, I know the name. I have absolutely no idea where I know him from. As soon as I saw his face, I was like, that's him. But I still have no idea what I know him from. I've just looked through his credits, and his credits are that long.
Yeah, he was in everything in the 90s. Yeah. Usual Suspects, I think, is one of the higher levels. But
it's weird. It's weird to see a name, recognize the face, but just never know what you've seen him in.
Oh, I do, because there's a cop in Point of No Return, the one who slaps her when he's and the one that she sticks the pencil.
Oh yeah.
The American version. Him, I know his face from so many things, but I could not. For the life of me, I couldn't name a single film, even though I know him everywhere.
Did you also notice right at the beginning, where they're robbing the pharmacy?
Yeah.
Did you notice that it must be one of his first roles, but it was Michael Rappaport was like
Yes,
one of the
yes. I see.
one of the thieves.
Rappaport, what are you doing there? And I also noticed that something that was in the French version, but I completely forgot because in this one they focus way more on it. Rappaport's dragging a dead body.
He's dragging a dead body.
Yeah, when they're walking in the street. But
Yeah.
the first shot is of a person who looks like they've OD'd. And he starts dragging them. And that is in the French one, but you only just see it kind of in the background of the guy dragging. Yeah. But it's never explained. Like, who is this?
Well, they're just junkies, right? They don't do anything that makes sense.
When does a junkie drag a dead body through the street? It's...
Probably just thinks his mate's asleep and he'll wake up for the next hit.
With his eyes open. That's so bad.
It's just, what did you think of the overall like action and stuff in these films?
The action beats in Point of No Return were better.
More stylish.
Yeah, and they were bigger. And I think it added a bit more impact that the first movie, which, like we said, was slow, could have done with. Which I think Luc Besson was still kind of, you could tell this is an early film because he was still figuring that sort of stuff in the pacing and all of that.
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts about for Point of No Return? You know where they go in into I can't remember what the millionaire's girlfriend's place, right? And essentially their plan is to get her to drink some tea that's been not poisoned, but they put like something in it to knock her out. And the whole plan hinges around that. Yet they've got people in there who are gunned, so their backup is to like basically inject her while holding her and not have anything in place with the guns.
The worst, like not even just Nikita, but everyone around her. They are the worst organization of spies, assassins, mercenaries, whatever they are. It just falls apart within seconds.
It's and what about Jean Reno versus Harvey Keitel?
Yes. Now I like them both for very different reasons. Keitel is very much of the cold, just efficient cleaner. Which he also played the cleaner in Pulp Fiction, which is ironic, which is weird. But yeah, which I did like. And he seemed more competent, except for the very, very end, when all he does is just stand in front of her, just waving a knife. And I'm thinking, what is that going to do?
Do you not think like, the minute he starts doing that, you're kind of thinking, you know exactly what's about to happen, right? But you got to like admire his dedication to getting the job done, right? Because even though when the car is on him, the car is literally on him. He's literally trying to reach out still to grab her and strangle her.
Yeah. But Jean Reno, you gotta love because I felt like, I forgot you. Actually, I don't even remember you ever being in this. And it's a shame he wasn't playing the same character as in The Professional, but obviously he couldn't because he dies.
I like to think he was, and there's some sort of there's some alternate universe spin-off type thing, but there actually is a great little on the actual Leon Blu-ray. There was actually a little story about how the fact that Luc Besson wrote Leon for him, didn't tell him, invited him to dinner, gets his girlfriend to basically put a present, like a wrapped up present on his dinner plate, and she gets the camera out, and basically they capture his expression as he opens the package, gets out the script, starts reading it, and he's like, "Is this for me?"
Did they actually have the picture?
I actually don't know because I didn't watch the whole thing yet because I bought Leon a couple of weeks ago, so I'll probably like watch that after I watch the film.
Okay, that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like Jean Reno, but yeah, again, he's terrible at his job. Like he's just recklessly killing everybody. No subtleties, not careful or anything about it. He seems surprised that there's cameras and there's security lights only come on. Like you're in front of a massive building that has bad.
For a cleaner, he makes a hell of a mess as well as he's dragging those dead bodies with like just blood everywhere.
Trails of blood through the hotel. Bad at the job.
Although him driving through the wall
again,
that was a
dumb.
Gangster. That was dumb. Cool. It looked cool as fuck though.
But I noticed as soon as in the second one when they went through the gate, I'm thinking, okay, I can believe that they smashed through a gate.
Yeah.
Brick wall. That car should have just hit and just stuck there.
It was a Mercedes though.
Yeah, I guess. A German engineering's next level. Do you think Bridget Fonda was perfect for this role, or do you think these alternative actresses that almost got the role would have been better? Julia Roberts.
Oh God, no.
Remember, early 90s, so she was still young, same age.
She was, but I think just knowing what she did later on doesn't really put her in the tough girl role.
This could have just put her career in a whole different path. She could have become Sigourney
It could
Weaver
have.
type, all action movies.
Pretty Woman already happened, right, by this, so I don't think she would have
Believe
probably
so.
done something like this.
Well, she was in it. She was
Yeah.
newly cast. I'm saying these
Yeah.
women were right
Oh,
there.
okay.
Nicole Kidman.
Still don't see her as a tough woman.
But
Action
Bridget
woman.
Fonda. Do you see Bridget Fonda as a tough woman before this film?
Oh, I see her
She's
as a
never
feminine.
done. She's never done any action before or since. So, come on, truly. And
Uh,
Daryl Hannah.
See, Nicole Kidman, I could probably buy because she's quite a tall lady.
Yeah.
So
very.
she could be quite intimidating, I guess, if cornered by her. Daryl Hannah. Ooh, no, I don't think she has the acting chops to pull off something like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And somebody who lobbied for the role, he must have obviously seen the French one and loved it and wanted to be in this, but was never in consideration. No one, the director just did not care. John Badham. Her name is Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would have been an interesting take, I guess.
Would have been. I actually think that would have worked. That could have worked pretty damn well.
Yeah.
But this was a big actual hit. 7 million for Point of No Return to make.
Yep.
30 million box office.
Box office tag. Wow.
Yeah, in 93. So that was actually a solid hit.
I don't remember this being something that people spoke about. Maybe like it wasn't the kind of... Well, it was an action film, so I'm really surprised, actually. I mean, we were quite young, but it's not a film that I remember people talking about.
Not as much as Nikita, but it was something that I was always aware of.
Yeah. I don't even remember people talking about Nikita, to be honest. In fact, I think I watched Assassin or Point of No Return first, and it was probably many, many years later that I stumbled upon the fact that it was a remake of a French movie.
No, I was aware of it. I always saw the poster, and it's weird how you find out about films back then because no internet, really.
Exactly.
So it's kind of weird that you've become aware. But yeah, I always knew about the remake, but obviously not that it was called Point of No Return for some reason.
Yep.
So that's what's that thing that they say? The Mandela effect. This could be one of those Mandela effect that this is truly Nikita, and it's just the world has shifted somehow. Weird, but yeah, I was always aware of the French one. Yeah. I don't know if I ever saw it though. What other things stick out for you then? Which one do you prefer then, as far as overall?
So I think if I had to pick one, I think the original was a far better film just because I think the actress was better. She just made you feel a lot of different things, or rather, she managed to portray a wide range of different emotions, and she went through that whole broken despair, madness, and then basically essentially in hell, right? Because who really wants to do a job like that who isn't sort of like of a certain persuasion?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
you could see her battling with it and never really get, again, just the worst at her job. Like Gary, Bob, why would you select this woman? Because she obviously was never cut out for it.
Bob must also have been a little bit of a psycho, right? Because he essentially sends her on a holiday with her boyfriend and then puts her in such a shitty situation to do a job from her bathroom, which could have gone so fucking wrong.
This is how I know that I did see this film when I was a kid, because I was fascinated with that gun. I remember as a kid, because her rifle that she puts together, it was such a weird design. It was all sleek and futuristic, and I remember drawing this like for comic book characters. I would draw this gun out. I was obsessed with it, which doesn't say a lot about my mental health as a young teenager, but loved it. Always stuck with me.
Do you not think like putting her in a hotel to assassinate someone through a window on the off chance that they may appear on the other side wherever didn't really seem like a great plan?
Well, they must have had intel that the person's going to arrive at a certain place. But yeah, I guess it tests your agents to be on their toes and to really be ready for anything.
Or the fact that they call her... Oh, this is the other thing that really came to mind, right? So, like they basically phone her up in the morning and say, come to this hotel. Now imagine, it's 1990, right? You don't know this hotel. You've got a phone the hotel to get the address, right? You've got to then look the hotel up on the A to Z or what.
Yeah, you have to have a map. This is like this is like age of
And
map.
that's nothing about the film, but that's just the first thing that went through my mind. Because like you could say to me, meet me at such and such a hotel, I wouldn't have a fucking clue where that is.
Now, this is interesting though. This scene ends very differently from the two versions.
Yeah.
You've got the French version where she just
Yeah.
turns up, and I like the little bits of the guy putting together all the different bugs, puts it into the salt shaker, all these little bugs is all over the place, and then gives her the tray, delivers it, and she leaves feeling, oh, it's not so bad, and she's happy for the rest of the day. That it was just a simple job. She didn't have to kill anyone, and she's in a very different headspace. Whereas the Bridget Fonda one, she gets there, there's one little thing that they stick into the kettle. She leaves happy, and then suddenly, boom! It turns out that little thing was a bomb that blew up the whole room.
Do you think they had to get her to go and deliver that? That could have been anyone's job. Could have been housekeeping's job.
Yes, that's true. I guess I have to guarantee that he gets that. It's weird. They had housekeeping there. You see them all with the blindfolds, but nothing on their ears. So they can hear everything. They can hear all these people just talking. How many people in the room? Weird. But yeah, so it ends with them blowing up, and then she ends that scene traumatized. That again, I have to kill people.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill.
Which is ironic, right? Because she literally killed a police officer at like point blank range.
True, but she was high. I think the French one portrays that one better. That she wasn't in a right frame of mind. That she was just kind of unaware of the shooting. Whereas Bridget looked clear-eyed. Yeah. She knew what she was doing. She just killed that cop for the sake of it, for kicks.
Did you have any feelings about that opening where essentially a son is robbing the father?
Believable for drug addicts.
Yeah.
Sad,
I guess so, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of just made me think, like, what a piece of shit of a son you are. And I guess that really sort of hammered home what the rest of the gang were like, right? But the guy who starts the firefight just seems so trigger happy because he literally sees the police, then decides to shoot the shop owner, and then starts shooting at the police. And you're kind of thinking, at that point, you haven't killed anyone, you haven't shot anyone, put the gun down, and you might get off lightly with a few years in prison.
See, the French one did it so much better. It was way more chaotic. This one, the American one, was just way too gung-ho.
Bang, bang,
like Rappaport just suddenly pulled out this weird, big, freaking Tommy gun looking thing. He was just shooting all over the place. Whereas in the French one, the guy was just mentally challenged, and he was just hammering the wall for the whole thing.
And he was going, zap it, go on, zap it.
He said. But I also like in the French one that the dad killed the son. Did you notice that?
Oh, I don't think I remember that.
Yeah. So when they started shooting, the other friend, the trigger happy one, shot the dad, and the dad inadvertently shot his own son. Who was on the side.
Oh, right, okay.
In the American one, that didn't happen. He shot his dad. The other guy shot the dad in the back. But I thought it's just poetic that the dad killed his son.
Yeah.
So, Mo, rating.
So, I think I would give La Femme Nikita a 3. It's not a great film. It's not a bad film. I think it's aged a little bit poorly compared to like some of other Besson's older work, like Taxi. Taxi's still great.
Yeah.
Point of No Return, I would say I would probably give that a 2 point something.
See, it's just like with our last one last week.
Yeah.
Nikita improves after watching the remake retroactively.
Yeah.
But only by half a star. So I'm going to give it 3.5. And also because of that rifle. Even watching it now, I still loved it again. It took me back to being 14, seeing that thing for the first time. Yeah. 3.5 and point of no return. I hate calling it that, but that's his name, I guess. 2.5.
2.5. Yeah. I was thinking 2.5, but I had to give it. If I was going to give it that half, it would just be because, goddamn, Bridget Fonda just looks so sexy in a lot of those outfits. But it's funny because in my mind, I remember watching it as a teenager, thinking it was a good film. Now I think I would probably never want to watch it again.
It's just, especially after the first, it's just so identical, except for tiny deviations. It's just so mad. I've just never seen one that's a movie that's that close to the literally scene for scene for scene. Insane. So, damn, now we've got to think of what we're going to do next. I guess that's a little discussion we'll have after.
Rightio.
Yeah. So, guys, let's know what you think. What should we do? What did you think of these films? Which is your favorite? Did we get it wrong? Are you, there got to be a bunch of people that enjoyed the Point of Return more. People that just want their movies more bombastic.
Oh, I don't know. I think Nikita is a cult classic. But I guess you're probably if you're one of those people that don't like to read a film.
There's that as well.
Yeah.
There's that as well. But there is a dubbed version of it. Dude, it was so hard for me to find. Femme Nikita.
So the version I've got had both, and Plex normally picks like the English language, but as default. But I quickly changed it to French.
Yeah, but just finding this was I did watch the French one, but just finding this was a headache. I did eventually stumble across it, but not even on Amazon. I couldn't even rent this. I couldn't even do it through legal means. It's nowhere. Literally nowhere.
Yeah. Did you try Apple? They've normally got everything.
I refuse to buy anything from Apple. Never give them my money. So, guys, that's it from this week. From me, Eddie Reese.
Me, Mo.
This has been Remake versus Original. Original wins out. Again, 2 weeks in a row. The Original's won out. Is this us showing our age, Mo? But these are films that we want sentimental about. So we can't use that excuse.
No, I'm telling you, genuinely, most times the original is always better. In fact, I don't think in the 4 that we've done so far that I've actually picked the remake.
Actually, no, The Party I felt was better. I'm sticking with that. The Party was better than Infernal, even though Infernal was good.
Nope.
Anyway, see you later, guys.
See you, folks.